Hello, clever entertainment professional. You didn't let resistance get in the way and you signed up to receive this first video, which I'm going to call How to Have Beginner's Luck All the Time. All right, so everybody knows about the idea of beginner's luck. Someone just blunders into something, whether it's an entertainment thing or some other field, and they just get some breaks straight away. I personally experienced that. I moved to America. I had like $600. I was like, I'm going to go to America and become a stand-up comedian. I got here and I did a class, got in at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, and in very short time, remarkably short time, I was made a regular at the Comedy Store in LA, which is a hugely competitive process. And my name is actually painted on the wall of the Comedy Store, along with not very many other people, maybe 300. I don't know exactly how many. But I did that within about a year of starting stand-up. And that is an incredibly tough business. I believe it's probably one of the toughest of them all. And it's also extremely tough for women and extremely tough for foreign women. I think I'm the only Australian on the wall as far as I know. But there was something in that first year that I had, that energy, that going for it energy, that is beginner's luck. And people experience this all the time. And then what happens is that a build-up begins to happen that dulls that beginner's luck, and then you start getting into the struggle and the slog of the business and all that sort of thing. So this is really about bringing yourself back to a state of being where you feel like a beginner all the time, and you begin to activate that beginner's luck energy. And when I was talking before about resistance, I talk about energy, I talk about the flow and the movement of life, because if you think about molecules vibrating. Okay, molecules vibrating exist in three states. You have it in the solid state, which is the most resistant, slowest state. That'd be like a block of ice. Then you have it in the fluid state, like water. And then it goes into the gaseous state, like steam, right? So what this work is about getting you from being a block of ice where nothing's really happening through that fluid state where things may be flowing, but really getting you to the gaseous state where what I call the luck, the magic, the synchronicity, and the really exciting stuff happens. And it usually happens outside the framework of your linear mind. The linear mind likes to really think, okay, if I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, then I'm going to get here. And that's the zone that the mind is comfortable in. But this work is about taking you into a place that exists beyond the mind, where you really get into the gaseous states, where the magic stuff just starts popping up out of nowhere. And it takes far less effort. It's much more flowing, it's much more exciting, it's much more fun. And that's about bringing you back to a beginner's luck state. Because what usually happens when you really put your energy towards something, you kind of summons a lot of energy to do it. So it's like, okay, I'm going to start a band and we're going to go on the road, okay? And we're going to make a recording, we're going to go on the road, we're going to be a big success, okay? That summons up a lot of your personal energy to accomplish those goals. But simultaneously, everything within you that is in resistance to that is also going to arise. It's just natural that as you summons energy, resistance arises simultaneously. And if you know how to work through that resistance, then what you actually do is you release the energy that's in the resistance as well. And that really pushes you into that gaseous state. And beginner's luck is a place where people come from where they don't even know what the resistance is yet. They haven't done enough to push up the stuff that's in resistance. They don't have the attachment to getting to the goal yet because they usually haven't done very much already. So, the more you put into something, the more expectation you have for it to start manifesting or to coming into fruition. You might have more resentment that it hasn't happened, impatience, frustration. Now we're moving into the resistance mode. When you first start, you're just like, wow, here we go. This is exciting. This is fun. This is joyous. I'm having a bash at something. I pushed through some resistance to get past my nerves, and now I'm going for it, and boom, something happens. But that excitement then puts you often into a state of expectation, which can lead to attachment, which brings more resistance. But that's okay, because the resistance that is emerging is the energy that you need to pop through to the next level. And when you understand that, you can really start working with it, and it's a really cool thing. So as you are going through your journey, every now and then, what's really important to do is to let go of all the meaning you attach to your success. Because the more you put in, the more meaning you start attaching to your success. Oh, if I book that TV show, then that means I've made it. And what's really underneath that? That means I'm cool. That means I'm hot. That means I'm lovable. That means I'm going to get the chicks. That means I'm going to get the car. That means I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. Now you're starting to layer meaning onto your experience, and that meaning could be creating resistance. So every now and then, you've got to let go of all the meaning. Okay? What does that mean? Oh, well, it just means something happened. Let go of the meaning and start afresh, because if the meaning is weighing you down more than where you are at, you're in a resistant state. And you're not going to be in that beginner's-like frame of mind where it's just like, wow, whatever. This is cool. I'm on an adventure. That's the place you want to sit in. You have to start really bringing it back. You got to get out of the if I get a break, this means I can get out of catering and blah blah, or I can pay off my car and can get a new car. You really start weighing it down, because you as a successful person, in a way, the projection on that cannot make you bigger or better than how you feel about yourself right now. And I'm going to get into that more in the next video and talk about some things that you can do to stop doing that. So beginner's-like state, clear mind, take the meaning off what this means to you. And if you can't take the meaning off it, then sometimes you need to go into a deeper place to soften that part of you that is feeling less than, because you don't have that yet. And that's a lot of the work that I do with people, is to help them soothe and comfort the parts of themselves that are feeling less than, because they haven't achieved that. And when you feel totally comfortable in yourself, you're back in beginner's-like. You can go into a room, you can rock a crowd, you can let it go. You can be freaking out before a show and walk onto that stage and totally rock it out. That's the beginner's-like energy. That's the gas energy. That's the magical energy. That's where the breaks start happening. So think about that. What are all the meanings that you are layering onto yourself on this journey that may actually be weighing you down? And just let it all go. Just go, you know what? None of this has to mean that at all. I'm going to let this go now. Have a go. Check it out. Stay tuned for my next video about how to get your success off the pedestal so you can really line up with it. And this is a technique that I worked with a wonderful comedian called Vicki Barbolak just before she won Nick at Night's Funniest Mum in America, which was on national television, a show hosted by Roseanne Barr. We did this technique right before she went on stage, and sure enough, she won the finals, and she was awesome. Stay tuned.